Hello, and welcome back to Factorio Space Age. We've been working towards moving on to our first planet, which is, I think, going to be Fulgora. We have a bus-based production system in progress, although it's not making a whole lot of things yet. I did allow my nuclear power plant, my nuclear processing area to continue. It took a while, but eventually we got to where all of our Covarex machines are running at full tilt, and I could in fact remove all the logic at this point and let each of them just grab all of the hot nuggets they want. Because we are using fast inserters with a stack size of 2, it looks like we're going to be always overstuffing it by 1 or 2, but that's all right. Once we get the wrong number in, we get a 1 in there, we're going to be adding 2 by 2 by 2 until we've got enough. If I really wanted to minimize the amount of 235 that is sitting in the machines, I would set my inserter stack size to 1, or I would put in the bulk inserters, which are not automated yet, and set the stack size to 10. So we want to put in 40. So what are we doing next? We have unlocked Fulgora. Okay, so we need to build a ship that can take us to Fulgora, and we need to put all the stuff in it that will get us there. I have some things that I have not yet automated. Do I have notes on that? Novice exports, hold on. Yes, I need to add green inserters. Okay, which are, I could be using in my base right now, but I haven't built them yet. Accumulators and Mark II modules and flying robot frames and electric engine units. Well, we have electric engine units, boom, and they are being put in here. I am not yet making flying robot frames out of them. Now, if I export electric engine units, I'm thinking... do we get battery from scrap? Okay, what I can do is, I think I'm going to need to export flying robot frames. Okay, well, we'll see about that. Anyway, before I can do that, I need to build the ship. And I noticed while I was thinking about this, I went over the stuff that I added, and I put space platform starter packs in here and cargo landing pads, but I never did put the cargo bay in. Instead, I've got a second machine making these guys. So what I want to do is set these up out here. And we're going to repurpose this guy. So you are actually going to be making cargo bays. Now, the easy way to repurpose this is to make it a blueprint and make this into a parameter. And then stomp it back down. Oops. Just you two. Make that a parameter. Stomp it back down and say you are doing cargo bays. Oh, and these guys, I have to empty them out, right? Now, the inputs are slightly different. So we need steel plate and processing units from the inner one, and we need LDS from the outer one. Now, the other thing I did here was I put in quality module 2s here. This gives us a 4% chance to produce something of higher quality, which means that in the process of making all of these, I made some of those. And I don't see... Hold on. Let's set you to quality 2 and set you to quality 3 and kick you out of the area down here. Yeah, there you are. So you get moved out of there. Thank you. And the other thing I want to do is kick you guys out so we can start making another batch of these guys. So we have one. No, I'm sure we have more than one. I thought we had like 8 of those. I was sure we had like 8 of those. Oh. Well, we got a bunch. We got a bunch of uncommons. I guess I just have to wait longer to get more of these rares. 880 asteroid collectors. We're going to keep going until we've got 4,000 in stock or until the box fills. That's fine. We are getting rare. So cargo bays, the inventory size gets bigger, so that's good. We got one of those. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build my colonizer ship without the higher quality stuff. We'll wait on the higher quality stuff until later. And I'm going to draw you guys out like this. You are going to be uncommon. This doesn't work really well until you get the more advanced requesters, but I can't do those yet because I want to get the achievement for getting some remote science first. So these will continue grinding. Now I was sure... Yeah, I only have one. Okay. Oh, well. Anyway, let's start building our colonizer ship. Once we get the colonizer ship built, I will work on what stuff we want to take with us to Fulgora. Build new space platform is called Colonizer. Should have done that while I was messing around with the stuff over here. While that's going, let's take a look at our recipes. We have thruster oxidizer, which is made from water and iron ore. We know we've got iron ore in space, and we've got ice in space. And if I look here, we can turn ice into water. So we can take the ice and turn it into 20 water. And then we can take the water and turn it into oxidizer. We can take water and turn it into thruster fuel. Yay! These go 10 water to 75 of each. And it doesn't tell me the nominal cycle time of the recipe. Oh well. We'll have to do it by eye when we get there. So let's go out to the colonizer. I'm going to set a waypoint here so we can get back quickly. And the first thing is our colonizer is going to be carrying a lot of cargo. So let's pick up where we left off here. This guy needs to be cargo bays. And I'm going to put, say, 6 of them. So I like doing this reverse spine. If you want to put things into the hub or take things from the hub, you have to do it at the hub not at the cargo bay. So these cargo bays, we can't insert or delete on these, which makes this a really great place to put power. Just like that. Okay. Now that's going to be taking a while. So let's make this a bit bigger brush. I am going to need a bit of a platform here. Let's build it out to there to start. Now, before I do anything rash, I need one centered thruster somewhere here. I'm gonna make our fuel build come off of this. Notice the thrusters can't be put next to each other, and you cannot flip them. But what I can do is do this. I could put them next to each other and the fuel would flow through, but then I would have to plumb the coolant. Easier to space them out by one and put these in like that. And this can stay centered. Now I am going to just arbitrarily say that my sushi line is going to come right across the back here. And I am going to use the space here all the way back for making my fuel. And I'm going to start off with a chem lab. We have to offset it one way or the other. I'm going to offset it to the left. This is all arbitrary. We know that these guys need water, so we're going to start off in the middle with some guy melting ice to water. Now, somehow I will be needing to get the storage tank contents sent north. Hold on, that's a little loud in my ears. I'm turning my headphones down a little bit. Okay, so the other half of this is the water needs to get back up here. And this is why I offset it to the left. So I wanted to get the water coming back like that. Now on the right is my oxidizer. On the left is the fuel. So this takes 5 water per second. This produces 20. Well, that's suggestive. I'm going to put in a second oxidizer and a second fuel. Just like that. And that leaves me with space to put in my inserters, bringing in my ingredients. Just like this. Okay, so these will get the crushed asteroid remains, which we'll prepare somewhere else. Okay. Now if I put this here, that's going to be a bit of a challenge. Oh, I know what I can do. Put that there. And then we need a fuel pump. We need to be able to control fuel. If I just have the fuel always dumping into the engines, we're going to go at full speed all the time. What I want to do is I want to turn my fuel supply off when we're going too fast. So we'll do that, and then I will plumb it together. Yeah, that works. And then we need to plumb from this over to these guys. Now this can come down all the way to here. Okay. Notice I'm not connecting it to here. I don't want the fuel to flow straight to the engine, but I am connecting it to here. Okay. So that's, I think that's got our fuel area set up. So everything is symmetric, except of course the chemical plant for the water is offset because it's odd length. Now up front, I want to be picking up asteroids out the front. And I want this to be symmetric. So I'm thinking we'll start off with something like this and like that. They're going to overlap a bit. That's all right. What if we make them not overlap? That would be here and here. Yeah. Now I am going to want to put in some guns. Turrets, here we go. Gun turret. Okay. So these are going to be fed by a belt coming from the right to the left. I'm going to need plenty of space down here to, well, basically grind up all the asteroids so we can use them down here, but we also need to be building ammunition. And I don't know how much I'm going to require to do that. Let's start off with... oh, we need to build the ammunition going into the Colonizer and then take it out of the Colonizer and put it on the belt so we can import more ammo and have a big stock of ammo that's not on the belt. Right. So let's go 1, 2, 3 like this. I'm just going to build a bunch of them. You are making firearm magazines because we can make those out of iron. Now your output is slow, so we want inputs from here. And I'm going to put this in 2 rows like this. That was not a good idea. Hopefully that will have put those back in the thingy. Now this guy, we are documenting that we are putting firearm magazines back in. I want to limit the amount of firearm magazines that I put in. Enable if firearm magazines are less than, say, 2,000. Once we get 2,000 firearm magazines in here, we stop doing it. And you are firearm magazines. Like that. These require 3 iron per second to run at full speed. I don't like running out of ammo, but I much prefer symmetry. We are going to have a stock of iron plate in here, so we can build up the stock slower. Now, I think the iron smelters are same in as out. Yes, they are. Colonizer. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing here roughly. We're going to get the... Oh, these take the ore from the belt. I could do a crusher that crushes just specifically for these guys. In fact, I think I will. So these guys are going to be taking in along this line. Use filters. Indicate that we are only taking this guy. And we are putting our plates out. Oh, come on. Just pick this up from here. These are producing iron plate. And this is similar. Okay, so I want to never have more than, say, 1,000 iron plate in there at once. I'm going to grab this, flip it vertically, and put in another set of them here. That needs to be a source of iron ore. So the arrangement over here isn't so much because I've got a lot of iron ore coming in. It's more that I want to keep it symmetric with this. Symmetry is big in my book. And somewhere here... I am going to need to provide a way to get ammo out and sent to this guy. I think I'm going to do it here. So you're going to get the ammo coming out, and I am going to send it over to here. The idea is that our guns in the forward area will have first call on all of the ammo we produce. I am going to put 2 of you in. Jack. Like that. So that we have a lot on the belt. And then our belt is going to be coming north. I'm going to put in a 3rd row of these. Now, I've been thinking about putting efficiency modules in everywhere. It's probably not needed. Let's do it anyway. This will reduce the power. It means I'll be able to take this down by quite a bit at some point. We're going to experiment with it, but I want to start out with too much power and all the efficiency modules so I get a feel for how things work. Now that will bring us down from whatever it is down to 20% of that. So that'd be down to 31 kilowatts each. These guys are 186, so that'll bring it down to 36 kilowatts each. That's doable. Okay, now we need enough We need to deal with asteroids in two ways. First of all, we need to crunch them and put them back on the belt so that we can use them for fuel. And I'm going to do that down the left. We need to crunch them and put them on the belt for this. I should flip these. Nope, the ammo needs to come out to the right. Well, we can take the ammo. Yeah. I am going to flip these like this. Alas, I put it too far away and we lost our connection here. Yeah, we need some space in here to do some stuff, so I will take up these for the moment. So this needs to go out to our sushi belt. This needs to come in from asteroid collectors, from guys that are dealing with asteroids. So if our sushi belt is coming up here, we may need to relocate this. I don't know how many of these we need. Gotta put it. How about I put 3 on each side? And you are going to be grabbing asteroid chunks like that. You are going to be putting your output out there. And your asteroid chunk rejects need to go on the inside of the belt. Like that. Okay, and this guy is metallic asteroid crushing. And your output is going to be iron ore. Now we can't just, toss. Well, we can. In this case, we can. Okay, so in this case, well, we can always put out the chunk. If we pulled a chunk from there, we can put a chunk back out. We know we've got room. We're not putting more chunks back than we took out. It may momentarily put us a little bit above the limit, but that's all right. Our limits are going to be soft. These guys can do whatever they want. Oh. Down, up, down, up. There we go. That leaves these guys. So those are just real simple. I like it. Now on the left, if I do this symmetrically, this is going to be coming down here. What we want to do here is again have 3 of these. We're going to do it similarly. Okay, so we have our input from, actually we're going to have the output of the asteroid chunks here, the output of our actual output there, and the input of asteroid chunks there. And basically it's this guy. like that. Now this needs to be controlled by the quantity on the belt and by another signal. So I am going to make a red wire. This is not scanning the belt yet. This is going to say enable if iron ore is less than N, where N is a number I'm going to configure for everybody. N is how much of each thing I can have on my bus. And filter is that. And we're going to include the hand contents. No, we're not. There we go. Pull that in. Okay. Make a blueprint of this. We are going to parameterize this guy. Oh. Can I parameterize him? Great blueprint. Save this somewhere like here. So your first ingredient. Oh. You're only the one ingredient. Okay. So if I go to here and I say, this is the output, then this is a parameter which is an ingredient of 0. It's a parameter. Product, and this is filter 2 of them, ingredient and recipe. So I'm gonna need to actually fill those in on each one, because I don't think that actually does what I want. This is going to be doing product is ice. The ingredient is, yeah, this is unfortunate that I have to do all of this manually. And this one, the product is carbon, and the ingredient is carbonic chunks, and the recipe is carbonic asteroid chunking. I'm going to do 2 sets of these. And then we're going to stitch together the red signal. Like that. So red is going to eventually carry the total quantity of things on the bus. It also has to come out to here. It also has to come down to here. So red down to the corner. Now these guys, oops, it's these guys that come together. They will need to tap into the red signal somewhere. Looks like I'm kind of forced to have it be somewhere that we have one of these inserters. Oh well, that's going to be confusing. And we can't quite reach. And we do need to come into here. Can't reach to there. I'll go to there and around. This keeps our red wires over the bus, which is kind of good. This guy, we're going to read everything out. No point in not having it. But that means that we can come down here, and this guy actually needs to be on red as well, which means I'd really rather do this. fact, why don't I... There. That looks good, nice and square. And you are going to be enabled if our velocity is V is less than some set point. So when we slow down below some point, we're going to give fuel to the engines. I'm going to set that at 100. This is in kilometers per second. And why do we not have thrusters? That's been there a long time. Thrusters, not enough to fill. We have 2 on planet, not enough to fill 1 rocket. Why do we only have 2 thrusters? Probably because I told it to make 1. No, make 40. What is going on with him? Oh, look at that. I copied him from somewhere. That is not what I want to do at all. Yeah. So now we have to wait for thrusters to build. Okay. Well, that'll happen. Just kind of like we had to wait for our solar cells to build. So in theory, I could put more of these down. This says I'm producing up to 10 ore per second if... hopefully no. So every 2 seconds, I grab an asteroid chunk and turn it into 10 ore. And these guys was 0.6, hold on. These guys are 0.62 per second. Call it every 2 seconds plus. So really one of these should be enough for all of this guy. Yeah, not going to worry about it. I could put in another set of these over here if I wanted and have them putting out on the bus, which would mean that all of the collectors in here would have a chance to feed in. Oh, okay, so these... Right, these are feeding the fuel, so putting them over here isn't going to help. So in theory, I could block stuff. Now, the other thing is, we do need to have ammunition on this belt as well. So it seems to me that I want all of my stuff to be on the inside belt that's not ammunition, and the ammunition to go on the outside. These guys need to be conditioned on the contents of the belt. Enable, disable if firearm magazine is less than N. Which means really that all of these guys get simpler. Yes, they do. Just a little bit, though. This becomes that. So this puts everything back. Oh. No, it was right before. The outside of the belt is going to have ammo on it. What that means is that all of these outputs also need to be on these guys. You go to you. You look like that. So grab him. Select new contents. So all of my stuff is on the inside. There we go. Yeah, I'd forgotten that I was reserving the outside lane of that belt for just ammo. And this is still set to, oh. Yeah, screw it. Okay. Gonna put those three on top of that. Just gonna fill these in normally. Okay, and now we take this as is and stomp it down here. Okay, so N needs to be the number of asteroids and crushed asteroids that can go on the inside of this belt. These guys need to be A, which is the amount of ammunition on the belt, which we're going to have to determine. Now, I'm going to want to set this up. This is going to be Colonizer resupply. And I am going to ask for, well, let's ask for a bunch of iron plate to begin with, to seed us up. That'll bring in the iron plate, and we'll be able to make assembling machines from it. And now we need to put in these guys. You need to be centered. And I'm going to put you here. So now let's put you here. Okay. Oh, I didn't mean for you guys to start all immediately. Set filters. Set filters. I'm going to turn you guys so at least you look like you're facing forward. Actually, let's face you right, you forward. That. So now the green goes from here, here to here. And it needs to come into the middle somewhere. I'm going to bring it to here and to here. Like that. Does red need to go up to any of this? I don't believe so. But it does need to go to here. So from here, 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 and up to there. The red is still not carrying any of our belt contents, but it is carrying everything that is inside here. That's a problem. These need to be based on just what's in the belt. Oh. Whereas these, oh boy. So we need a red. I've got two distinct red buses going here. So the ones that need to know what's in the colonizer are right here. So let's make those a green signal from the colonizer. Oh. No, that's not correct. So really the problem is the red signal for what's on the bus doesn't go back to the colonizer. There we go. But the signal from the colonizer does need to go out to turrets here, because we're going to, oh, and down to here. This needs to be, this needs to go to the center. So this is the other red, oh, fudge. So basically I've got 3 buses I want to put. This is going to be a little bit frustrating. Let me think about this for a moment. So let's not put anything down to the bus quite yet. No, let's put the green on. So green is going to be our filters. What if it's the filters and N for these guys? Okay, that makes sense. Let's put those in and get those working first. Now, to make the filters, we're going to need to also have quantities from the bus. So, comparators here. We'll sample the bus top dead center somewhere. There's those 3. I'm going to sample the bus here. This will be the location where we read the bus contents, all belts, the whole bus. And we produce our outputs like that. I am going to need a constant combinator for ship configuration. And that's going to go back on the green bus. Hold on. This over here a little bit so it is visually distinct. And this is going to carry N, which is the number of resources, the raw materials and the asteroids and such. I'm going to set that to 10 for now. And A, which is the amount of ammo, which I'm going to set to 5,000. And we'll put ammo on the bus as long as we can. Now, I don't need to bus the quantity on the belt. I can pick those up locally, and I'm going to do that. So green comes to here and over. I just need to make sure that the red doesn't sample the bus, and we don't put green sample on the bus sampling. Still waiting on him. Leaving the filters off for the moment. So all of these guys down here, hold on, let's hook all of these. All of these can use a common bus sampler. So that we don't have to do all sorts of weird shit. Well, no, they should be independent. Okay, make them independent. Notice I'm changing my mind a lot on this. So our logic is going to be you are sampling from here. You're looking at all the belts. You also have a green, which I'm going to bring in from there. And N will be on the green. I have to put those in manually, darn it. Well, I can do this. Like that. Green skips down through these guys all the way down to here. So green is our signal bus. Whoops. Which needs to go to here. And signal bus. If I send the signal bus back to the colonizer, then that's going to pick up our inventory levels. Yuck. So somehow I need to get my fluid quantities. Oh, this guy needs V from the colonizer. I need to send back the fluid quantities, which do not get onto the green bus or the red bus here. Okay, which means this is not the same green bus. Fiddly little design. Do we have N? Does this guy see N and A? This guy sees A. Good. Now you have completely filled that outside belt. So now we can look at this and I can say 546. So A needs to be 500. But now that I think about it, why do I need to limit the amount of ammo on that belt? I really don't. Oops, N. Sorry, N is the one we want. And you need to be, see, 546, and we've got, I'll say 50. We'll take a look at what our bus residency looks like. These guys need to be unconditional, so we can unhook the wires. There. So we'll just be refilling from here. And these guys are also unconditional. Did I really just use up all of the iron plate on the planet? I think I did. I think I requested and used all of the iron plate that was in my boxes. That means that we are not actually putting iron plate in boxes anywhere. Well, the iron plate is coming down here. I can set that up. At this level, iron plate. We're going to set these up for 4,000, just like that. I'm going to put it on both of these. There we go. Back to the Colonizer. This is taking a lot longer to put these machines together than I thought. I thought I had built enough of these that I could just, pop it together, but I'm doing things so differently. Okay, so these are set. So the first guy, we're going to say if the number of metallic asteroid chunks is less than n, then output a metallic chunk here, which will be going to all of our filters. And then we're going to make a blueprint where we're going to parameterize the thing. And we're going to put it in for carbonics and for oxides. Now we do not have N. Why do we not have N? Did we not get? We got them. We've got them. Oh, N needs to be on the input. So this has one downside. Its output will be reflected back in its input, which means that once we flip this to a 1, we'll let it go down by 1. I think we can tolerate that. So these guys should be set to filter and bring in everything. I'm not sure why this guy didn't reach out. I guess those aren't really asteroids. Is that right? Maybe it wasn't really in his territory. So now we need to send some more guys down to the left. When we get down here, we're going to need to be careful about where we're picking up our green stuff. I think this distance is about right, so I'm going to go ahead and do this much. Okay, now these guns are going to need to be hooked up to get our velocity number. So I do not want to be shooting at asteroids that we're just going past. So in this case, this comes to here, which goes to there. all of these guys are enable if the velocity V is under, say, 25. So if we're going really slow, we are going to shoot at things. Otherwise, we're just going to let the stuff that's to our sides keep on going. This green wire needs to tap into here. And that one needs to tap into there. So we got our filters right. We don't have the filters yet, really, because we haven't hooked up the green wire to the north, which is also why these aren't working. There's that. You can hook in there. These guys are not complicated. Okay, so now all of our grabbers are configured. Now I think I want to loop this down and back. So kind of out here somewhere. The idea is I want a grabber and a turret down here. So we've got that much. What if I put it like this? Actually, this isn't where I want to bring it in. Need to put the turret in here somewhere. And something similar on the other side. Turret in here. Do I want a turret in the corner bit? Yeah, actually I do. I take this, rotate it, flip it horizontally. You're going to be here, and you're going to be here. Which puts you here. Go. I'm going to be coming back in here. We'll just have to turn that when it comes time. After I've made sure that this is properly sized and all of that. Okay. So turn that and get rid of that. These guys still need to be connected up here. That's got my filters set. You are here. Okay, filters are set everywhere. Okay, red comes down to here. You. These guys are set to only work when we're moving. Good. So if we look at this, we can see that on the red is the belt inventory quantities. So you see the belt is full at 671, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things. So we could go to N of 100 without overfilling the belt. I'm going to go to 80, see where we end up. So the other thing is I need to get thruster oxidizer information back. Thruster, these quantities back to here, and the pump. This all needs to go back to here. I guess if these guys are getting velocity, then we can provide all of this stuff. Just directly across like that. So now when we look at the net, we see our fuel quantities right there, 10K and 10K on each one. We've got a capacity of 25K. We have quantity in the hubs, and we do not have quantity on belt. Yay! Because if we had quantity on belt, we'd see a whole bunch more stuff. We'd see our resources. So scheduling. The other thing is we need a decider combinator here to make some decisions, whether we're good to go or not. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise a check mark if all of my conditions are good. So the first condition is, do we have enough fuel? And I'm not going to depart until my fuel is greater than or equal to 20K. Full capacity is 25. I could demand 24K or better. Actually, yeah, let's go to 24K. So how much ever we use, we want to come back to our top level before we continue. Same thing with oxidizer. This is an AND condition. So fuel is high and oxidizer is high. And we have enough ammo in stock. I'd say we can depart from any planet with 500 ammo. Then we're going to output a green check mark. And I'm doing this with a green check mark saying go, rather than a red X saying don't go, because I want the ship to not move if this guy is missing. Okay, so what is our condition here? We want to initially start at novice. We're going to wait at novice until circuit condition check mark. So we're going to wait until the ship itself is ready to go. And we want to wait for all requests are satisfied. And I'm going to wait for some inactivity time. And I'm going to add a blank circuit condition at the bottom so that we don't leave until I come up here and poke it. Second station is Fulgora. Same thing. All requests satisfied and check mark. Ship ready, all requests satisfied, and inactivity, and our temporary don't actually leave here automatically thing. Now, I think my resupply only needs to get me 1,000, really. So these guys, these guys over here, this should fill us up to 2,000. Okay. Here we will wait until we have at least 1,000. We'll resupply from the ground if we don't have 1,000. Import from novice. Okay, so as long as we only do it on novice, novice can top us up to 2K. That way we don't wait in orbit around novice just to get this guy going. Now what do our production rates look like? So we are producing a couple hundred iron ore per minute. Not sure why that has... Oh, it's probably because we don't need more than that. 151 iron plate per minute. We are stocking that. We just changed some numbers that may change. 144. These all look really good. The lowest number is oxide asteroid chunks, which we are acquiring very slowly. Kind of worried about that because our fuel production is based on getting this and turning it into water, and it might very well be that we are simply processing all of the water as it comes up. We're using all the water as it comes up. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, our production rates here are throttled by how much oxide asteroids are coming by. Okay, it is what it is. How about power? So we are capable of 7 megawatts, and we are at twice that easily. But we are going to be going places with less sunshine. Novice, let's see, does it show it? It doesn't show it on this one. I'll click on it though, and we see solar power in atmosphere is 100%, in space is 300%. If we go to Vulcanus, it's going to be brighter. Gleba, it's going to be a little dimmer. Fulgora, it's less than a third. So we may not have enough power to be power neutral around Fulgora with all of this going. That's okay. That means that around Fulgora things will slow down. But notice that's power neutral even with all of those put in. What if I put in efficiency modules in these guys as well? And in these guys. So our big users, in fact, were the crushers and the chemical plants that we didn't have stuff in. So if I let this accelerate for a while. So our power spikes have gone way down. Our crushers are still our main user of power, but notice how much of this has simply gotten really quiet. Okay, so we still lack some things on the bus. That's all right. We've gone over. I am going to... well, actually, we've run long anyway. How about I do a trial run of this? I think this will work. I am going to let you run to Fulgora, and we're going to watch what happens. And I'm so confident I'm not actually even going to drop a save. So what are we doing here? Our speed boosted up, and now it's falling back to 100 meters a second. There's a medium asteroid, which we shoot up, and then we grab. That works. We're getting some metallic asteroids coming in from the north. So far, things look good. Now, if I had launched myself onto this, we could land, but we don't actually know what we're taking with us yet. What I'm going to be interested in is when we get to Fulgora, what are these conditions going to look like? Oh, this condition was reversed. We shouldn't have departed. We didn't have enough thruster oxidizer. But it looks like we're not taking any damage. Our ammunition seems to be holding. Okay, so what I'm going to do, since we're stopped at Fulgora, we can't actually go down to the Fulgora because we can't send ourselves down. We're not here. But I'm going to say, you're at Fulgora. Feel free to come back to Novice when you're ready. Since we didn't actually fill up on fuel and oxidizer properly before we left, I don't know with how that's balancing out. We should be okay here. I'm going to call this a recording, and in between recordings I will bring this back and I will start thinking about what I want to take with me. I will see if I can set up a logistic group, and I will see you then.